Up off net? Up off net! What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the Adult. Alright, man, look. Terence Bud Crawford. Is he ducking Showtime Shawn Porter? Oops! I'm a Lord. Let's get to the video. Terence Bud Crawford, is he ducking Showtime Shawn Porter? Now, Terence Crawford, he said that if he must have the fight, if he had to make the fight, if the fight made sense, then he'll take Showtime Shawn Porter. As of right now, he's not looking at Shawn Porter, he's looking at other fighters. Now, let me tell you something about Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford saying that the fight must make sense. There is a chance, Terence Crawford, that Shawn Porter, after the Errol Spence fight, Shawn Porter's in higher demand than Terence Crawford. Thanos. You know, I've been waiting for a while now for a welterweight to want to pull a Thanos and collect all the gems. That's good. Holiday blend, Starbucks. Like I said, I've been putting some cream in there, you know. That's a little spoonful or two. Can't put the cream and the sugar, makes it too sweet, but I digress. Let's get to the video. Terence Bud Crawford saying that the fight must make sense. And I've heard many fighters say that once they're on top of the hill, and us boxing fans, we think fights that they think doesn't make sense. It makes all the sense in the world for us, but not to that fighter. And let me tell you, I may not understand the business of boxing, but I do understand patterns. And I've heard the fight must make sense many times, and many times it comes from that fighter that's on the top of the hill. And those fighters are usually the hungry fighter. But once that fighter gets on the top of the hill and somebody is hungry for them, they refuse to feed them. Now, let me tell you something about patterns, and the fight must make sense. I remember when Sugar Shane Mosley was on top of the hill. Now, Floyd Mayweather was hungry. Floyd Mayweather was a pound-for-pound fighter. He was coming up weight classes, looking for that stardom, and he was calling out Sugar Shane Mosley. Sugar Shane Mosley, he said, well, Antonio Margarito was trying to fight Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, why don't you have that fight with him? Because the fight with you and I right now, it doesn't make sense. And then Sugar Shane Mosley, he faded Floyd Mayweather. He became the guy on top of the hill, and there was a guy hungry for him. His name was one time Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was the number one contender welterweight. He was there to take on Floyd Mayweather, calling Floyd Mayweather out. Floyd Mayweather, the fight didn't make sense. Floyd Mayweather decided not to take on Keith Thurman, saying that he needs bigger fights. Keith Thurman, he ain't ready for that stage. The fight doesn't make sense. Floyd Mayweather didn't fight Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman, he became the guy on top of the hill once Floyd Mayweather faded. When Keith Thurman was on top of the hill, there was a hungry fighter named Errol the Truth Spence Jr. And Errol Spence was gunning for Keith Thurman, hungry for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, he didn't feed him. Why? The fight didn't make sense. Errol Spence wasn't a big enough name. He didn't have a belt yet. Even when Errol Spence gained the belt, the IBF belt, Keith Thurman, he said the fight didn't make sense yet. Keith Thurman was looking at other people than Keith Thurman. He started to fade in Errol Spence. He became the number one welterweight. Errol Spence unifying with Shawn Porter. And Errol Spence, what did he say to Terence Crawford when Terence Crawford, after becoming undisputed at 140, moving up 147, I'm here now at 147, and I want the top welterweights. I want Errol Spence. What did Errol Spence say to Terence Crawford? You on the other side of the street. The fight doesn't make sense. And Errol Spence getting into his accident. Errol Spence kind of fading right now. He's going to be inactive right now. And Terence Crawford, known as a pound-for-pound fighter. Many of you got Terence Crawford at number one. So Terence Crawford, he's sitting there on top of the hill. And guess who's coming at him? A hungry fighter by the name of Showtime Shawn Porter. And what does Terence Crawford say? He doesn't feed him. He says, the fight doesn't make sense. As boxing fans, many of those fights that didn't make sense made all the sense in the world for us. And those fighters who were predators at one point tried to hunt down their prey. Once they got on top of the hill, there were predators hunting them down, and they did the same thing. The cycle continued. When I'm talking about me now understanding the business of boxing, I guess I don't, but I understand patterns. And Terence Crawford, when you are pointing at other fighters, pointing pointing at Errol Spence, for example. When you point, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. And one of those fingers go by the name of Showtime Shawn Porter. ShowBizz, Lord. Don't please comment. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is Terence Crawford ducking Shawn Porter? What's the definition of ducking? I'll tell you this, though. Terence Crawford, I don't think he's afraid of anybody. Hell, Errol Spence, not afraid of anybody. Keith Thurman, he's not afraid of anybody. Floyd Mayweather, not afraid of anybody. Shea Mosley, not afraid of anybody. These guys are all fighters, but they're afraid of losing something. Not the fighter, but they're afraid of something, and they don't want to be hungry anymore. I'm out.